Hello and welcome to the Thursday show. This is your weekly 40K competitive hype show where we discuss the meta of the events and get you as excited as we are about competitive 40K. Thank you for joining us live here. For those of you in the chat and for those of you listening to us after the fact, thanks for tuning in. And we do hope you enjoy. Don't forget to leave that like and subscribe. Give us a 5-star review because we are awesome and so are you. My name is Dustin Henshaw. I'm with Paul away in San Diego, preparing to give you another great show. As always, this weekend, it'll be just myself and the infamous Adam Camilleri this week. How are you doing, Adam?
Pretty good. From infamous to dead to all other things. The monikers abound for myself upon your ears and eyes. We are here to hype up two very delicious events coming out of this weekend. First and foremost being the ACO from Frontline Gaming. That's the Atlantic City Open. Secondly, we have G-Dub's very own San Diego US Open in their menagerie of the US Open Series. And then lastly, we come all the way down to somewhere close to heart for me in Narracourt for Terracon, a 100-ish player event in South Australia. Should be a great freaking show. A word from our sponsors at Frontline Gaming. The LVO 2023 registration is open. Apparently 2/3 of the 40K champs are already sold out. The 40K friendly is probably not close behind. So snag yours. A bunch of awesome packages still available as well. Go on, register. Do not miss out. Do not let FOMO get you at the LVO 2023.
Oh, that is the worst FOMO you could ever have. I've missed one LVO that I intended to go to, and I never did again. That was the worst feeling. I hate that FOMO. We've been telling you guys, make sure you get those tickets. If you've been thinking about going, it's such a great event. And even though we have said the winner of ITC might not actually need to go to LVO, you want to anyway.
For the first time, some say you may not need to.
The legends say it might be true.
I mean, you have to absolutely crush everything else.
Oh, yeah.
But it could be an option. It could be an option that if you're just that far ahead before LVO, it doesn't matter.
It's definitely risky, though. It's risky.
It is indeed. Unfortunately, we don't have lists for one of the events. Unfortunately, the G-Dub event does not have lists live, and in fact, we are very lucky that this morning the majority of players had their factions listed because before I went to bed last night, less than half the factions were listed. I'm like, we're going to be able to cover this one? But we're going to do it.
Of course we are. We have to. It's massive. It's a big one.
That's right. Jumping in, what's our first one?
The first one we're looking at is the FLG's Atlantic City Open, or the ACO for everybody that affectionately refers to it as, in Atlantic City, from Atlantic City, New Jersey, USA. Wait a minute, is that right?
Yeah,
oh.
I think so. I mean,
that sounds weird for some reason.
Got me worried now. No, yeah, Atlantic City, it's a thing.
Okay, all right, cool. I know Atlantic City's a thing. Okay, making sure it's not in London, right? That's the only thing I want to. All right, so 191 player event, 9-rounder. That's a massive event. Lots of points here. Let's see what's going to be showing up there. The quick introductory stats here. The Imperial Super Faction. There are 7 Sisters, 10 Custodes, 3 Admech, 5 Astra Militarum, 7 Grey Knights, and 10 Imperial Knights. Holy crap.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Space Marine Super Faction. There are 4 Dark Angels, 7 Space Wolves, 5 Blood Angels, 2 Black Templar, 1 White Scar, 1 Iron Hand, 2 Death Watch. Space Marine Super Faction always just bringing a big spread there, although Space Wolves running on the top there is kind
really
of surprising.
Interesting. Really interesting Space Wolves spiking up.
Yeah, for sure. The Chaos Super Faction, there are 3 Chaos Soup, 7 Chaos Space Marines, 10 T-Suns, 6 Death Guard, 2 Demons, 6 Renegade Knights, Chaos Space Marine outnumbering Death Guard. What?
So I can tell you, I did the breakdown because I was like, what the hell is going on? Why is this? There's 2 Alpha Legion, there's 1 Iron Warriors, and there's 4 World Eaters. So we see this happen sometimes. Just before a faction gets a book, gets a supplement, gets a set of rules, they get a little lift, they get a little wave that comes and carries them because people start getting optimistic and want to touch base with the models before they get the new rules. And yeah, I think that's exactly what's happened here. 4 World Eaters cannot explain.
Wow.
So I mean, 2 Alpha Legion, it's pretty weird as well. I can't really explain it.
They're coming. They're coming.
Everybody
knows. Everybody knows. They're just getting ready. Karn he's rallying everybody right now.
Yeah.
On the Xeno Super Faction, there are 5 Necrons, 7 Orcs, 17 Tau. They're not dropping in numbers yet.
Ew.
The Hive Mind Super Faction, 20 Tyranids, 7 GSE. Yes!
Yeah,
yes, guys! Thank you!
I thought you'd be stoked. I thought you'd be absolutely
coming out.
Yeah. It's been a while since we saw GSC even close to being half the faction.
It's been a while since you even see them more than 2.
That's exactly right. They've been usually like the 1 to 3. Doesn't matter how big the event, 1 to 3. 7, it's a great, amazing thing.
Awesome. I love seeing that. The Eldari super faction, there's 9 Eldari, 1 Drukhari, 11 Harlequins, and 10 Siriani. Again, nothing too surprising there, aside from the Drukhari not having a big representation. Everything else evening out, the Drukhari kind of dropping off there.
So, to my mind, you feel free to check me if I'm incorrect there. The way Harlequins are playing at the moment is just better Drukhari. For what Drukhari,
Oh, yeah. No, I
with
agree with that.
Drukhari not having a relevant and potent shooting unit outside of Ravager, which is just like a Void Weaver, possibly a worse Void Weaver, you can just play and do everything Drukhari do with Harlequins, but better. And so
Well,
I feel like that's what's happened there.
no, that I think that you're absolutely right there, because a lot of the Drukhari players, that's what they used to play. Like, unless they're making the switch, like the Coterie Army of Renown,
Mm,
that's the only different way to play Drukhari that Harlequins obviously can't do,
they
because they don't
can't
have
do,
that
yeah.
kind of. Then I feel like that has some play. It's definitely going to take a while to kind of, because as simple as it might seem to play a list like that, and I'm talking about the 4 up, feel no pain, fall back and
Yeah,
advance a charge army, like
60
rack
plus
spam.
racks,
Yeah,
two or three big units of
like
grotesques, and then
yeah,
like
exactly.
Tazar and Incubi. Yeah, it's a good
It
list.
it might seem like a simple style list, but it's actually a lot more complicated at its core, because it's not as easy to play, especially with some of the things that might be changing soon. It'll be a
Mm,
big change for that too. I'm gonna be interested to see how that plays out in the future. But the faction podium then means Tyranids topping out at 20 still, Tau falling behind them at 17, and then Harlequins at 11.
yep.
Harlequins are Siriani. Siriani was very close behind him at 10. We need to make sure we tell them that everybody needs to know, like, Imperial Knights are also at 10. They're one behind them. They're one away
Yes.
from me on the full podium here,
Dude,
and so are Custodes.
Custodes are
Yeah.
also at 10. There are some whispers going around. Some people have like saying yay or nay on some of these Warzone was it Nephilim changes,
Yep.
and people are of the opinion Custodes will be jacked with those
Really?
changes. They will be good.
Hmm.
Because they start the game with a significant amount of CP. Now that you've taken away all their good stratagems, they only need like 3 CP to get
I
the
guess
best
that's
out of their
true. Yeah.
strats. And so then you, the opposing player, not having many CP means you don't get to spike into Custodes. You don't get the opportunity to be like, I need extra damage, I need extra wound, I need extra rerolls into Custodes. You just don't have that option.
Well,
And
see,
so,
that's something that we need to actually discuss too, because that's something that a lot of people are kind of forgetting. Like, the immediate thought about this, like, oh, we're getting a way less CP, way less CP. That's not true.
hmm,
You're not true. You get your CP more progressively throughout the game, so you're not going to have an immediate spike right off the bat, and you have to be a little bit more careful with your like army building
mhm,
spending of CP, like with the different attachments, relics, warlord traits,
yeah.
kind of thing.
And of course, this
So,
is all just through the smoke and mirrors of the rumor mill and the
of
leaks and
course,
stuff.
yes,
So
none of
we're
this is
not going to give it
confirmed yet. None of this
not
is
going to give it
confirmed
too
yet, but
much agency. But what do you? So yeah, so knights, 6 renegade knights, 10 imperial knights. Like technically, if we added those together, they would be third on this podium quite clearly.
Mhm.
With a big gap between them and the Harleys, whatnot. Why do you think Harley's seeing a little resurgence? Because I would have thought Assyriani would be clear head and shoulders above them in the numbers.
For Harlequins, you mean?
Assyriani, I thought by now, Assyriani being in my mind having
Mhm.
the second best list in the game would be clearly have more faction representation than any other Eldari build, but it's not the case.
No, it's not. I think there's an argument to be made for the mix. There's an
Hmm.
argument to be made for pure Harlequins. Both of them have a lot of play. Honestly, like pure Harlequins, the luck dice are very powerful. Personally, I'm starting to prefer the mix build of the Eldari with the Harlequins and the craft world.
What did I say? What did I call when that book came out? I'm like the end game will be a Craft Worlds held Harlequins mix.
Yeah.
That's the end game for
I
that
mean,
book.
right now it's still kind of true, because the mix is both on the Harlequin side heavy and then the Assyriani side heavy, and equal on the mix. So
Yeah,
like everybody's that's how you know the codex is actually in a good spot though. If everybody
yeah.
there's that many builds and they're all evenly being taken, that's a good sign. That is a good sign.
Hello to people in the chat. Nicky D. Williams, Nurgle Matthew. Thank you so much, everybody who's joining us. G6 Branch. Hello from Oz. Hello, my mate. Hopefully, I'll see you at Terracon. Um, so there's a couple of. I'm not going to be around the bush. This event is stacked. This event is absolutely stacked. It has the first and third ranked players in the USA, in addition to just having guys like Anthony Vanella, Brad Chester, guys who are just going to annihilate. But let's run through some of the top players in attendance and
Yeah,
what they are
tell us who's
bringing.
there.
We've got Thomas Ogden, who's currently ranked number 1 in the USA. He's playing Tau, bringing a Tau Sept. In his previous lists, he has had like the full insane MSU all in on the crisis suit. So let's see where he's at right now. So he's got a patrol, starts with a commander in a crisis battle suit. He's got long strike, a unit of 10 Kroot, 1 unit of 3 crisis bodyguards, and 2 single broadsides, which I am a huge fan of. Then he's got Shadow Sun and a Supreme Command, and then he's got a Vanguard, a commander in an Enforcer battle suit, an Ethereal, 1 unit of 5 crisis with a marker drone and 2 shield drones, 1 unit of 5 crisis with 3 shield drones, and 1 unit of 5 crisis with a marker and 2 shield drones. And there are different weapon outfits on each of the 3, so they're all kitted out for different specializations. I'm assuming plasma features heavily. Like in my mind, they should almost all have a plasma, and then some of them have a flamer, some of them have a burst, some of them have an ion, depending on what you want to do. Or at least 2 of them should have plasmas, but I don't know. Thomas is number 1. I can shut up.
I like plasma. Yeah, I mean, don't tell him how to play his army, Adam.
Yeah.
Guy obviously he's proven himself at this point.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Who's that?
What do you make of this list, mate?
I actually really like it. I it's interesting to see less of the shield drones in there, and I really like the fact that he's doing that because it gives him points elsewhere. Yeah, you lose a little bit of durability, but really, how much do you really lose with the he still has 2 and 2 and 3.
Did he have Thomas? Here we go.
There you go.
No, please teach me from Thomas. Thank you very much,
here.
mate. Did he have? I can't remember if he had long strike in his previous list. If he had long strike in the
I think he did.
Adepticon list.
You're in the chat, Tom. You had long strike in your previous list, right? We might as well
I think he did. But if that's what he got in the exchange, like he scraped points for long strike, that's a good pick in the current. I think long strike is gassed, especially when knights are on the horizon and long strike's just like half dead knight every turn, just half dead knight. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's not even that. Like he's also a force multiplier too, like +1 to hit.
Yeah.
There you go. Just better.
First time. See, that's what I thought. I thought long strike was what he managed to squeeze in here from the Adepticon variant. I think it's a great list. Hard pressed to keep this man off the podium. Definitely hard pressed to keep him out of the top 8. Who's up next? We have Anthony Birdsong, who's currently ranked number 3 in the USA. He's playing Asuryani, Hail of Doom, Masterful Shots. No surprises there. He's got a battalion. He has a Seer Council, 2 Warlocks, a Farseer Skyrunner, 3 units of 10 Guardians, which I find interesting. We'll have to unpack. 3 units of 10 Dire Avengers, of course. 1 unit of Howling Banshees, 1 Warlock Skyrunner, 3 single Vipers, and 2 single Warwalkers. So quite a heavy MSU portion of the list there. Then he has an Outrider of Baharoth, 1 unit of 5 Rangers, 1 unit of 10 Swooping Hawks, 2 units of 6 Wind Riders, and 1 unit of 3 Wind Riders. This seems like it's a similar variant to what Nick Nanavati won Dallas with, as in it's got the ubiquitous heavy lifting in the Wind Riders and the Dire Avengers, a small bit of counter assault in the Banshees, and then the rest of the list is given over to MSU and points getting options. How do you feel about this archetype?
It's like you're saying, it's a very similar archetype than what we've seen that's very successful. It's the 3x10 Guardians that actually is a little surprising. Me too. I haven't seen too many of them. Is it just because you wanted the battalion? Like, I don't think you needed it, right?
Well, you could have taken Rangers, and I think you'd get a discount. You'd save some points on the exchange.
I mean, the Guardians obviously give them more value on the Hail of Doom and Masterful Shots. Well, Hail of Doom specifically. Yeah. And bigger units of OBSEC. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting, too. Like, I've never had a problem with Guardians. I just never saw them in this large of number. You know, they just...
Yeah.
Maybe one squad and a Ranger squad.
If you take away the Dire Avengers and the Wind Riders, there is so much MSU here. Like 3 units of Guardians, 3 single Vipers, 2 single Warwalkers, and then 1 small unit of Wind Riders and 1 unit of Rangers. There's just a lot of stuff to be on objectives and getting you points. I think one thing Nick had that this one didn't have, which I think's just fine, is I think Nick had a 3rd Farseer for the Uber Eldritch Storm. I prefer 2 than 3. 2's enough to threaten a decent one psychologically on your opponent, but you're probably not likely to do it anyway. So I do like that exchange. I just wish there was one more assaulty unit, be it the small unit of Dire Avengers or another Howling Banshees or a Scorpion unit or Karandras even. But I love this list. I think this is really well rounded. Should perform really well.
Yeah, we've seen Karandras a lot more on the Eldari list, and I actually really like him too. He's actually been pretty stellar. I think I agree with you though. Having just one more of those counter assault units, I think would be good. Even just striking Scorpions, Karandras, something like that. But it's still an amazing list. Like it's
incredible list.
Eldari.
Yeah. The next one we pulled up was Brad Chester's, which was another Asuryani Hail of Doom list, but we wanted to do the snapshot comparison between these two, just as a bit of a thought exercise for you guys. And of course, Brad Chester won Rocky Top 3-day super major a couple of weeks back. So if that score may not have gone into the top 10, and he might not be in the top 10 yet, but he'll be in the top 10 soon. So I figured, he qualifies. So he's got a battalion and an outrider as well, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do this, because it's kind of the same configuration as above, but I wanted to see the differences. He's got 2 warlocks, a 2 and 2 fast seer sky runners, which essentially is the same kit out. 3 units of 5 rangers, 3 units of 10 dire avengers, 2 units of howling banshees, and 5 striking scorpions, 3 units of 5 wind riders. So only 1 less wind rider than Mr. Birdsong's, but in 3 units of 5 rather than 663. Then he's got an outrider with Baharoth, 5 Corsair Voidsguard, okay, 5 Swooping Hawks, and 2 single Vipers. So far less MSU, but it feels like it has more units that can lift, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I think I like the 3x5 wind riders rather than putting 2 big ones and 1 smaller one. Are they all cannons? Do you know?
They'd all be cannons, brother.
I would assume. I'm assuming so. I'm assuming.
There we go. Chester has cannons while Birdsong's does not. So interesting. So Birdsong's got scatter lasers, and
scatter lasers. What?
Or double shuriken catapults on his wind riders, whereas
Even
Chester's got
really
cannons.
Interesting.
Yeah. Thomas just said, Chester has cannons or Birdsong does not.
Well, you know what? Now the Guardians make more sense. He likes those smaller ones, the volume.
Well, yeah, exactly. He went for volume over the And scatter lasers are good. Like scatter lasers are good. They're just not good into armor.
They're catapults.
Yeah, you reckon?
Thank you, Thomas. Thomas is helping us out here, making sure.
I like when you've got Jinx, when you've got Doom, scatter lasers are fine, with the exception of into armor contempt. If your scatter lasers in the mirror match are phenomenal.
Yeah, but only like half the armies have a Karma of Contempt.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the issue, right? You take him, then you play like 4 of your 6 games to get into the top bracket and armor contempt, and you're like, well, shit.
Yeah,
so that does make a lot more sense. So in effect, Birdsong's playing aggressively because his army only operates at 18 inches. Everything in the army.
Interesting too with Brad. He's only taking a unit of 5 Swooping Hawks.
Yeah, exactly right.
Interesting.
So sorry, Nicky Williams. It was not scatter lasers. They're telling me it's catapults. But it's all close range. It's all mixing in the middle, which makes me think the lack of a second offensive unit, counter assault unit, might be an issue. But they're both phenomenal freaking lists.
Oh yeah.
Who do you think in the mirror? Who do you give it to?
See. That's a hard one. We're putting such an emphasis on how important it is to have these counter assault units in the mirror, though. I think the counter assaults aren't going to be as good.
No, I don't think so either. I think
I think
it's weird. It's weird, but I kind of lean towards Birdsong's list.
So do I. Like I feel like in the mirror, Birdsong's is better, but I think Chester's list might be better overall.
And I think Chester's list, hands down, Chester's list is better.
But again, in the mirror,
in the mirror,
yeah,
it's
interesting.
We'll see. Yeah. So they're both. So Brad Chester and Thomas Ogden are on their way to ACO right now, and they're listening to us in the car. Hi, Brad.
Good, perfect.
Your list sucks.
No, your list sucks, Brad.
This sucks, and we hate it.
Why are you even going? What's wrong with you?
I like both these lists, and I love that we got to do that comparison. Both top players, like one, if not both of these guys, could very easily they could be the top table for all we know. Which would be
that'd be a great
nuts.
game to watch too.
Absolutely.
They'd have fun with it.
What's the second event, mate? Actually, should we pick? Let's pick a winner. Let's pick a winner.
We got to. Oh, geez. Well, okay.
I'm going to pick my boy Anthony Violence Vanilla. He's playing Nids, so not a stretch, but not one we read out. Because I don't think he's been to a big super major, and people are about to learn how vicious a man that guy can be with an aggressive list. So he's my pick.
Yeah, I can go with that. I think, it's hard to not pick the first in ITC right now, or first in USA, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty hard not to, and it's a great list. And he's listening to us, judging us. So, there's a lot of to drink wine. That makes sense, Brad. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I bought you some wine at the Stutter Snarling. I remember you liked your wine. That makes sense. Story checks out. Have fun, guys.
Moving on. Drive safe, please. GWS Open from San Diego. Tell us about it, brother.
We had 118 player event, 6 rounders, so it's another big one too. And the quick and dirty stats here: the Imperial Super Faction, there are 7 Sisters, 4 Custodes, 3 Admech, 6 Imperial Knights. Wow, they're just coming out of nowhere now. Space Marine Super Faction, there's 1 Astartes. We're saying Astartes now. We're not saying Space Marines anymore. They had to mix it up for me. The same show, Adam.
The lists weren't live. Usually I find the guys who've got Astartes listed and I look at what they are and they'll say freaking Iron Hands successes and I'll be like, you're Iron Hands. You're going in the Iron Hands section.
That's fair.
So yeah, but lists aren't live for this event, so no idea.
Okay. 1 Astartes, 5 Dark Angels, 2 Space Wolves, 1 Blood Angel, 2 Ultramarines, 1 Salamander, and 2 Black Templars. Chaos Super Faction, there's 1 Chaos Soup, 4 T-Suns, 1 Death Guard, 2 Renegade Knights. In the Xeno Super Faction, there are 4 Necrons, 2 Orcs, 9 Tau. Hive Mind Super Faction, there are 6 Tyranids and 2 GSC. All right, we're having above 1. This is good.
1/3. Yeah, that's
one third.
Yeah,
1/3 of the Tyranids. You know what? That's actually impressive right now. The Eldari Super Faction, there is 2 Eldari, 3 Harlequins, and 5 Assyriani, 0 Drukhari. Wow. And then the faction podium means that Tau are at the top with 9, with Sisters next at 7, and then Imperial Knights and Tyranids tied for bronze at 6. What is going on at this event? My goodness.
Please forgive us as well if these numbers are a little bit off there. They are, because it just by dint of when the lists go live, there was only, I think there was almost 30, high 30s, possibly low 40s of lists that did not have factions listed. And of course, I can't even click on the list to get to. There's no recourse. That's just holes in the data. But we thought if they get about 2/3 to 3/4 of the factions listed, we'll show you. Anything below a third, there's like no point. But
so like the numbers could be a little bit different depending on how many it is. But I mean, if we have that many of them, it's still going to give you a good idea at least.
It gives you a snapshot. So yeah, Tau, two above Sisters, who are only 1 above the rest of the pack. There's actually a decent spread once you get below the 6s, bunch of 4s, bunch of 3s, couple of 5s. What is up with Sisters? Is it just the coast now? Like they won BAO in California. Now California is the land of the Soritus.
Maybe, but I mean, Admech won an LVO, and we haven't seen hide no hair of them very lately at all.
Admech, that is a legit aberration. A faction that won the LVO being a complete wasteland in the 5 months afterwards is unheard of. Like that just boggles my brain.
It's crazy though. The Sisters actually, the Armor of Contempt, it seems to have given them the shot in the arm that they needed. It's actually crazy to see how well they're doing now and how highly represented they are now too.
Exactly right. It's also, so I just pointed out in the chat, 0 Grey Knights, 0 Guard also in this. Also 0 Chaos Space Marines. They all live on the other coast of America.
They all went there.
They all went there. And 0 Demons. Like Chaos in California or on the East Coast is just not a thing. All the Chaos lives on the West Coast.
Apparently, they just all get on the same bus. Is that
so? There's 8 chaos. There's 8 chaos players in totality in the super faction on the East Coast. How many on the West Coast? 34. 34 on the West Coast. How funny is that? That's something also I love to do. Like just show the disparity between different metas and how different things can line up. Back to Sisters. Are they all they're hyped up to be? I think they are. I think they're better than even that. I think they're possibly sitting just under the S tier right now, like they're in that A plus area. I think they're incredible.
Yeah, they are actually. They're a lot better than a lot of people give them credit for, and you won't really know until you play a good Sisters player. But when you play a good Sisters player, you'll know because it is. You'll know when they have the right list with the right, like they know how to play it. Sisters are devastating.
I'm constantly impressed by I look at a Sisters list. I'm like, man, that is a lot of stuff. And then you look at it on the table, and like every one of those units can just do awesome things in the game. Yeah,
and it's not even that too. Like the fact that we've talked about it plenty of times before. Any army that can army-wide manipulate dice in their favor has a huge advantage. That's why the Harlequins are doing well. That's why Eldari is doing well because they both have that, and Sisters have that too. Now they get more of it. So. It's actually really, really good. And then plus they also get Armor Contempt. Like it's actually, they got so much added to them without even getting anything in their actual codex. It's
exactly
crazy.
Right. Well, dude, and the just having double the amount of miracle dice.
That's what I mean.
When everyone else loses CP and they have double miracle dice, those miracle dice are going to matter even more. Like
you have rerolls. I don't care. I just get the number I need.
Yeah, exactly right. All right. Unfortunately, that is pretty much all the coverage we can do for the US Open.
No
Unfortunately, the
list,
lists aren't being live. No players to talk to. Just going to move it on, but not before we hear from a word from our sponsor, Frontline Gaming.
Absolutely. Be back
At
in-
Frontline Gaming, we make the best tabletop gaming mats in the universe. Our mats are durable, rollable, foldable, wipeable, and storable. Oh, and they look damn great too. Join the thousands of tournament regulars and garage gamers who use our mats to bring their gaming surfaces to life. To ensure quality, Frontline Gaming mats are custom made one at a time, printed with high quality ink. Our immersive designs stay crisp and are available in a wide range of styles and sizes. So whether you're playing a war game or a skirmish game, whether you're fighting over an alien tundra, fantastical forest, or real-world setting, there's a great-looking battlefield for you. Our gaming mats are printed on extremely durable neoprene backing, so they won't slide around the table. And they're thick enough to stay flat, protecting what's underneath and allowing for slight uneven surfaces. We know from experience that an easily portable gaming surface is just better. Every mat comes with a sturdy nylon zip-up bag for storage and transportation. Whether your next battle is in your home or at the local game store, you'll be able to unroll your FLG mat and get gaming right away. Our products are all made and tested by passionate gamers at Frontline Gaming HQ right here in the USA. It's time to take your battlefield to a new level. Frontline Gaming, champions of tabletop.
And we are back. Another thing to let you guys know, our good friend Joe from War Games Live will be supporting and streaming the War Games for Warriors. And what's cool about that, and what reason we wanted to point it out to you is not only because Joe's a great friend of the show and Frontline Gaming, but that's the first time he's been to the same event. The first time he's streamed the same event. So he's done a full 12 months of his little journey, and you should all be very much supportive.
Happy anniversary, Joe, at War Games Live.
A hearty congratulations and
Hearty
claps
congratulations.
from ourselves and our guest.
That's right.
Angela Lansbury supports you, Joe.
Angela Lansbury is very happy about it. She look at that smile.
Look at her. She's planning a murder. Having a great time.
Wait, what? That's the opposite of what she's supposed to do.
She didn't just write those murders, man.
Okay, all right.
All right, last event for coverage for you guys for your viewing pleasure is from Terracon. This is held in Narracourt, South Australia. 97 players, 6-rounder. 100% of factions were listed because hashtag doing it better down under is exactly what we're all about.
I mean, you better have it. If you one of the co-hosts is Australian, you have to. There's no
you got to do it. Don't bring shame upon my house.
Do not bring shame. Adam would have made up the rest of the factions.
I literally would have just...
It would have done it for you.
Invented stuff. There was like 10,000 guard players, 4 Militime Tempestus, 1 Renegade Knights. That's it. Everyone took...
What an event.
Anyone took the Battle of
Cadia. That's all it is.
That's it. A beautiful meta. Anyway, take it away with the faction breakdown.
So the Imperial Super Faction, there are 3 Imperium, 3 Sisters, 6 Custodes, 2 Admech, 2 Astra Militarum, 3 Grey Knights, and 5 Imperial Knights. The Space Marine Super Faction, there are 3 Dark Angels, 3 Space Wolves, 2 Blood Angels, 1 Ultramarine, 1 Black Templar, 1 Imperial Fist, 1 Iron Hands, 1 Death Watch.
Yeah, boy.
Chaos Super Faction, 1 Chaos Soup, 3 Chaos Space Marine, 4 T-Sun, 6 Death Guard, 4 Demons, 4 Renegade Knights. Wow, this is like a really great spread. Holy crap.
Beautiful.
Xeno Super Faction, 2 Necrons, 4 Orcs, 8 Tau. That's still not that bad. Hive Mind Super Faction, 12 Tyranids, and no GSC. All right, I'm done.
See ya.
Never mind. You ruined everything.
I'll take the rest from
everything. Eldari Super Faction, 3 Drukhari, 1 Harlequin, and 7 Asuriani, and no Eldari at all. Only 1 Harlequin. Interesting. So the faction podium then is Tyranids at 12, then followed closely by Tau at 8, and then Asuriani closely behind them at 7. And then after that, it's actually, you know what? This is a decent spread, even with the 12 and 8. That's really good.
So the top 3 is pretty much exactly what you expect, but as soon as you go after that, it actually is a gorgeously spread event. Well done, Australia. The world is happy.
The world is happy. Yeah, like,
everything is right.
We're impressed. We're impressed.
My meta is a semblance of health, and everyone else's is screwed. This is fine.
You know what? You're not wrong. Because I mean, even these are the 3 we would expect to see on here, but they're not like astronomically higher than everything else. Like they're almost in line. So it's kind of nice. I gotta go play in Australia.
Once again, 3 Chaos Space Marine players. which is a little bit of an aberration. Like there was 7 at the previous. There's a total of 10 in the entire weekend on these 3 events, but still, it's a lot more than they used to.
Mhm.
The top players in attendance here. This once again is a very stacked Australian event with essentially like the best half the country in attendance. Queensland's not coming. Most of New South Wales isn't coming. Some of WA is not coming, but Victoria, plenty of Victorians and South Australians for those following along at home or know anything about Australian geography. But Matt Morrisoli, the current second-ranked player in the South Pacific, is coming. He's bringing Chaos Soup. It is Word Bearers and Slaneshi Demons. I think we've had this on a variant of this on the show already. Starts off with a patrol. Herald of Slanesh, 10 Demonettes, 3 Fiends, 6 Furies for some R&D and some no fallbacks from the Fiends. He's got a battalion, 2 Dark Disciples, so with a Dark Apostle, Master of Possession, and a Sorcerer. I think you said this was going 12, 10, 10 Cultists, 20, 20, 19 Possessed. Almost the full 60. 59.
Why would you just take the last one? Come on, Matt. Just take
this.
My OCD is kicking in now.
This list is ferocious. It is a little bit triggering that he's got 12 cultists and somehow
12 cultists and 19 possessed. One of those guys.
Couldn't find the points. Drop 2 cultists. I don't know. Find some crap. Drop a fury. I don't know. Not that I think he would. 5 furies to 6 furies is too good. But yeah, dude, the 60 possessed all in Juggernaut is present here on one of Australia's best players. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I love it. I've actually been coming more around to the, I want to say 60 possessed, but I guess I have to say 59 possessed. But I've been coming around to it. I actually really like it, especially with Armor Contempt and the things that they can do. I liked it. What was it? 8th edition. There was a bunch of people that were running like the 40 possessed, roughly, and it was interesting to see it come out in this meta now and do well. And now I see why. And it's really good. It's really good. It can be so aggressive and it puts so much pressure on your opponent. If they can't have the fight back to deal with that many possessed quickly, they'll get overrun.
Yeah. It is. So it's interesting in my head. I feel like this is a 20-0 machine. This is a run your opponent over. What's real rough about it is it's a list designed to give your opponent as few points as possible.
Mm-hmm. It's a differential list, absolutely.
It's a differential list. So this list will just run you over, and it'll be done in 2 to 3 turns, maybe. And that's if they go second and you put some walls up and stuff. But yeah, it's absolutely.
But nobody's GSC here, so
there's no GSC, no blips. Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying what this list can accomplish. Especially into because it's Death to the False everybody, so it's not Imperium list.
Death to the False everybody, yeah.
It goes everybody, because this army can have I think it's exploding 4s between Prescience and the Archon of Excess.
Yes, exploding 4s.
So
they rip things apart too. It's not just like they're hard to get through. They will rip you apart,
destroy. They will
destroy
annihilate.
You. Doesn't matter if you're Imperium or not. They hate everybody now.
Absolutely bonkers.
Hate everybody equally.
Next top player in attendance is Mr. Adam Napier, TO of Adelaide Uprising, which is kind of our LVO equivalent down under. He's currently ranked 4th in the South Pacific. He's playing a Tau Sept. So this is the second Tau list we've got for you guys on the show. And it's interesting to see the similarities and the differences here. He's got a battalion, he's got a Cold Star Commander and an Ethereal. He's got Long Strike as well. So there's some interesting points. He's got 9 breaches, 2 units of 10 Crute, a unit of 3 and 2 units of 5 Crisis, which with 3, 5, 3 shield drones respectively. So I can tell you which one he's valuing the most. It's one of the 5 mans against 5 shield drones. 2 units of 4 Crute Hounds, one single broadside, a Devilfish, and Shadow Sun. This is a bit of a kind of neat and tidy, not by the numbers, but it's a bit more straight up and down. It's a couple of it's got the same amount of MSU and the screens and a bit of the flex. I actually really love the addition of the breaches. When you need to go dig something out from behind a wall and you don't want to waste a unit of Crisis because the clapback's going to be bad, breaches and the Devilfish go and solve that problem for you. I like that addition. Personally, it does struggle for not having a true second commander though, which I think is the only real omission here.
Yeah, but I've actually I haven't been as impressed with the I'm going to say third commander because you have Shadow Sun too.
It's
But I
true.
like
Yeah.
having a third one. I feel it's almost unnecessary at this point. I prefer the like I love the Breachers and the Devilfish. I think that's an amazing ad. I like single broadside units too, just for
Me too.
the rail gun that you
Yeah.
can use when you need to and not give up too many points on it and not give up too many wounds on it either. The 3x5x5 Crisis is two Crisis short of what I'm used to, but it will do exactly what it needs to do. Like, I mean, the
Yeah.
3-man probably is the one with the burst cannons because they'll still have the volume of shots to shoot what they need to shoot. If I'm thinking about it in my head, I could be wrong, but
Mm.
that's how I'm thinking about it. And obviously, we were talking about Long Strike earlier, and that's just a great ad. I actually
Yeah.
really like the list for sure.
I really like the list as well. I think it's really strong. It's going to do extremely well.
Yeah, I do think the third commander is overkill, unnecessary.
What is it that the Enforcer Commander gives you? What's the buff he gives out?
OBSEC.
It's the OBSEC buff. That's right. So yeah, that's pretty much what he's missing. But look, can't hold objectives if they're dead. You know.
Exactly. They're gonna die anyway. Well, that's fine. OBSEC for
Exactly
Tau, you have the crude already, and then the Breachers is actually really good for that too. And I don't know. I feel like OBSEC for Tau is it's
See,
important to have some of it, but it's not as important for an army like Tau with Crisis.
this is why I really like the Breacher add-in because it flips. It flips an objective for you by itself.
If you need
Doesn't
to,
doesn't need much support.
can't
Just
get
needs
to
a
them,
couple of
these Breachers will
CP.
go do it.
Yeah. And they'll just go and flip a mid-board objective for you without
Yep.
giving away 300, 400 points of a crisis
Yeah,
unit.
it's perfect.
All right, so Tech Priest in the chat coming in with some local info. Lovely to see you, mate. And Tivada Lucas, yeah, Adelaide was won by Matt, and he used his Keepers and Termies. That was right at the start of 9th edition. Like that was one of the first 9th edition events. That was a crazy deal. The last list I wanted to draw our attention to is Ash Cross, who's a local Narracourt legend, been helping run and part of the TO group for Terracon forever, and I always like to chuck a local in when I know a local. So he's playing freebooters, playing orcs. We haven't had orc list on here in a while, I think since Mork Perry. So wanted to highlight this one. This is an Outrider and a Patrol. The Outrider has a big mech with KFF, 6 commandos, 2 to 4 death copters, 3 scrap jets, 1 rucker truck squig buggy, 2 to 6 storm boys, 1 mech gun, and 2 Wazbomb blaster jets. So 2 planes. Then in the Patrol, he's got a Smashy Warboss on Warbike, 10 Gretchen, another 3 death copters, and 3 war bikes. This is an interesting list. What I love about it is the speed makes your opponent's terrain kind of not matter. You're always going to get an angle. It's surprisingly durable against small arms fire, like some of the little bits and pieces put out by some armies, like non-rending Hail of Doom. You're actually kind of okay against you. You actually get a decent save. But otherwise you're just relying on a KFF to get you through the hard times. What do you think of it, mate?
I actually really like this too. I love Def Coptus. I think they're actually a very underutilized unit for orcs. I think they're amazing. They're fast. They do a lot of damage. Freebooters will be hitting even better. I like the Goths too because they're good in close combat too. Like they have a million attacks. It's crazy. I love them, and I think this is actually a really good mix of like Def Coptus, the one big unit of scrap jets, one squid buggy just to start to get that buff for the freebooters Goth on you. I think it's like a really good list. I like it a lot.
Yeah, well, surprisingly, I was having a chat with a Knight player who was like, didn't know what carapace weapons to take, and I'm like, dude, Eldar still exist. Tau still have Crute. Like, there's a lot of reasons to still take a couple of, like, 1, maybe 2 no line of sight pieces, just to pressure some bits and pieces. Like, are you playing against Eldar and you've got 2 Storm Spears or 1 or 2 Rucker Trucks? Can they take to the last on their Swooping Hawks now? Or is it just like 5 turns of getting shot is going to kill them?
It suddenly it makes a lot of people have to rethink a lot of their secondaries, a lot of the way they play the game. Like, they're not as good, but one of 2 things will happen: either it's going to scare them off of taking it, or they might get screwed on it.
Yeah, might get screwed on it. Might bet and fail,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the one that's got the 5 up invulnerable save and the -20 hit perma, like, there's no. You're not going to kill that one. But some people are taking 2. Some people are taking, the Wind Riders as well. They're actually not bad. Like Rocket Trucks, especially popping Wind Riders feels pretty good. They get extra rend in the Speedwire as well. Yeah.
Yep, they do.
It's not bad. Not trash.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like this list a lot. I hope Ash has an amazing event. But yeah, I'm probably going to be picking. Oh, see, I wonder if I called my weeks wrong, and this is the week of Nids, and Nids are going to run Roughshot because there's a guy coming called Stu Trainer who was crushing it with Grey Knights, who came 3rd at Terracon last year with Grey Knights, and that was his kind of first time he'd like smashed a podium, and then he went and won Australian Masters recently, and now he's on Tyranids. I've got a feeling he might win this event, so I'm backing Nids to win this one as well.
Wow. Well, I can't do that then. I don't. That's too many numbers. That's the odds are too much.
Just pick a faction. Just like
I'm going to be going with this possessed list. I love that. I love that list a lot.
And Matt's an absolute savage with it. We should what would Paul pick from this one? WWTPMD. What would the Paul Murphy do?
What would Paul Murphy do? Okay.
He'd probably just YOLO freaking T-Suns.
I was about to say T-Suns. I think he's gonna say T-Suns.
I think he would have said Knights. He would have gone like Renegade Knights or Renegade Knights or Imperial Knights. He'd just be like, Knights are gonna hit a podium at this one. And I would be surprised if they do. There's still 10 Knight players, so 9 Knight players all told.
Yeah, okay. I think he'd pick T-Suns.
Yeah, I think he'd play T-Suns. All right, moving on to the Fuego goodness. For those of you who don't know, at the end of the show, after all the thickness, the crustiness, the girthiness of the meta, we like to take a palate cleanser and do a little segment we call the Fuego Rapido, where someone just slops in some all the evocative language coming out. Someone just chucks up some questions. Like sometimes it's a listener, sometimes it's one of us. Just chucks in some random ass questions. We give ourselves usually 2 minutes, but there's only 2 of us, so we're going to give us 1 minute. It's going to be read out by the wonderful tech priest Dicky, and then we're going to just answer them. I have no idea what these are. Have you read them? Dustin?
I have not read them.
Ooh, this is the first time I got one over on you guys. That's awesome.
Well, I'd never read them.
Oh, Paul,
I sometimes read
the first time.
Okay, well, all right. Well, we'll start the clock.
What was the point?
What Warhammer character would most likely use the line, "I'm kind of a big deal. People know me"?
Oh, it's an Anchorman.
Oh,
because
cool.
San Diego. I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, San Diego. Yeah. Okay. Who do you think? Kind of a big deal.
I don't know why, but for some reason, the first one that jumped into mind for me was Marnius Calgar.
Oh,
nice.
I feel like he's got an ego.
Fulgrim is my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Gilliman for some reason.
I don't feel like Gilliman would say that.
I was still in the Ultramarine thing. That's why I said Marnius, but I think
Bobby G. Someone in chat said Bobby G. Too.
I don't feel like Gilliman would say that. He'd have a retainer who he pays specifically.
Exactly. The sword bearer would actually do it.
See this guy? This guy's a big deal. Yeah.
He would get Marnius Calgar to do it for him.
Yeah. He'd have a retainer just for that purpose.
Yeah.
All right.
Reset. Dude, I have like 13 buttons to push in order to do 60% of the time. Oh, I gotta start the clock. 60% of the time it works every time applies to what in Warhammer?
Rerolling ones.
Ooh, yeah. 60% of the time it works.
It's definitely 60% of the time it works every time for that.
Like you mean rolling a 1 into a 1?
Into a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. My one, there's quite a few.
There's a lot. This one could be like a 20-minute answer.
What's an army that you think has like a perfect 60% win rate? Because that'd be
perfect 60%.
Like around a 60% win and loss. It probably like Harlequins is around the 60s at the moment. So my answer is Harlequins. 60% of the time they work every time.
I mean, 50-50 with a reroll. You know what? That actually the math adds up for that.
Hey, just a pretty face.
Well, not quite, but math is still it's closer to like 75. But anyway,
someone said the psychic face.
Yeah.
That's good.
ACO head judge here, super full after Gordon Ramsay's. Man, enjoy.
Oh,
delicious.
Lap it up.
Delicious.
In Warhammer, what escalated quickly?
Horus Heresy.
Worship of the Emperor.
That did actually really happen quite fast.
That's true.
Really did.
That's true.
It really did escalate quite quickly. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Dustin, you got any others?
I'm gonna have to think of another one. What else escalated quickly?
Spending. What someone said.
That's a good answer. My spending on models.
You are the winner.
That's also a good one. The devastation of ball escalated quickly.
Codex creep. Codex creep.
Yes. Yes.
That is
You guys are
escalating.
killing it.
No, Codex Creep is escalating slowly. I think that's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Because nothing. Yeah, it's just one book.
Yeah,
Everyone has to cop it. One book. Everyone
Yeah.
has to cop it. I get you.
I get what you're saying. I do agree with you.
All right.
All right.
Fuego.
This is a good one. Who has the best salon quality hair for reading the 40K news?
It's Dustin. Those eyebrows are just chic AF.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
eyebrows to define a matter.
Yeah.
Right there.
Welcome to the 40K news to you today.
Oh, that's
It's
good.
Steve freaking Joel, right?
Yeah.
It's Steve Joel. Yeah.
It's nice hair.
sure.
Yeah.
He like if we could get a panel of like, well, it'd be
Fulgrim again.
Steve Joel, Adrian Phillips, and
Ooh.
Paul Murphy would have the would be Anchorman panel of beautiful hairs in 40K.
I was totally zooming in at BAO. I was zooming into his hair during his
I
stream
saw.
game. That was good.
It's got a beautiful head of hair. What can we say?
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Steve Joel's got.
I mean,
lovely
I
hairline as
do
well.
have a beautiful head of hair. I just shave it because I don't want to show everybody up, and it's curly, and I hate that.
It's fair. It's fair. My hair's very curly. I'm growing it at the moment. We'll see what happens. Fuego.
All right. So what what do you look at in your hobby room and say, I love them?
Oh, there's a lot.
I love them.
There's a lot.
I love them.
Right now, Relic Terminators sitting on my desk. Forge World upgrade kits. This beautiful Black Templar Terminator Forge World shield. I love them. Yeah. My bits box. I've got like I've got a little
You
shelf
love your
underneath
You
my
say you
desk.
love them to your bits box? That's a problem, man.
I love my bits box. What?
Wow.
What? Huh?
You have,
Did I miss
Whoa.
it? Did I break up there? Or did you guys catch half that sentence? I've
No,
got this little shelf underneath my desk, and my bits box lives there. And I just pull it out, grab bits out of it. I love it. It's great. I took up that whole question.
Yeah.
Dustin?
Do you have one,
Kellamorphs.
Dustin? You love Kellamorphs?
I love Kellamorphs.
How many
I love
Kellamorphs? How many do you own?
4.
4.
I love that you own one more than you can
Yeah,
ever
why would
use.
you own one
I-
more?
Fantastic.
I could summon them before.
Fantastic.
All right.
All right, next
Our
one.
Last one. So, okay. So this is I'm going to pause the clock. Wait. I'm going to reset. Okay. I'm going to set it up and then give you. So
You're just-
Thursday
okay.
show Rumble. Each host, you can pick 3 40K characters to be in your gang for a host brawl. Okay? Time starts now.
Brawl.
You can go first, Dustin, because I took the whole last question.
Well, mine's easy though. We're talking about named characters or just characters in general?
Anybody.
It'll still be the same actually. If we're just doing a straight up brawl, that's
GC
easy.
has no
Or Kellamorphs.
characters.
No, I'm doing 4 Kellamorphs. 4 Kellamorphs. I mean, obviously that's my whole team. I bring 3 and I summon 1. No, for me it would just be Death Leaper, the Red Terror, and Old One Eye.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's go.
That's a good team.
Okay.
How are you
Yeah,
going
that's
to
a
beat
good
them,
team.
Adam? How are you going to beat them?
I'll take the original gang fighter in Abaddon. 30k Abaddon, not 40k Abaddon, because 40k Abaddon sucks. 30k Abaddon was a baller, and I would take him.
I mean,
I would
Abaddon?
Yeah, Abaddon.
Yeah,
Just make
Abaddon.
it- okay, just
Same
make it-
thing, right? Yeah.
I think so. I actually don't know how you say it.
Abaddon?
Apparently.
Abaddon?
You're
Abaddon?
going to take all your
uh,
questions, just try to say it.
That's all you got. You only have one guy.
We're here for semantics, people. The actual questions, the answers don't matter. Who else would I take? Shit. I would take Creed because, like, he would just win somehow. Like, somehow he just manufacture a building falling on the opposition team. And who else would I take? I'd just take Korn, like actual Korn, the god.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Feel real stupid now, don't you, Dustin? Coming at my
You're taking
my
gods.
sweet.
I'm
my
making
seat.
them. I'm making
Hey, you had your chance to take gods and you
them.
didn't.
I don't need
all
to.
right?
Freedom are gods.
So we got
You know
some,
what? We don't mind eating up a god.
we
Adding
have
some
some
on
good
this.
ones from chat. We got Mortarion, Abaddon, and Magnus. We have
pretty good.
Abaddon, Gaz, and Karn.
Abaddon
Or-
Gaz and Khan is actually sick.
3 Bloodthirsters.
Triple Bloodthirster.
That'd be pretty good.
Gaz is a good one to bring into a
Gaz is
brawl
actually,
for sure.
If you go into a brawl, Gaz is a good pick.
Karn is not, because he'll just kill all your guys.
He will
Yeah, he gets
spray the
mad.
crap out of you. It's good for the plot line, though. Karn's
yes.
good for the plot line. Yeah. That is our show, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's our show. Close us out, Adam.
No, you closed it out. You brought us in.
Brought us in. Oh, well, okay, fine. I guess I'm going to close it up for you then. Well, thanks everybody for tuning into us. I hope you enjoyed the Fuego as well. We always like that palate cleanser to kind of get the crustiness, as Adam said, out of our mouths, all the all the meta we're talking about.
Yeah.
And as always, thanks for joining us here live. And for those of you in the chat and those of you listening to us afterwards after the fact, thanks for tuning in, and we do hope you enjoy. And again, just give us that 5-star review, guys. We always appreciate it. And we will be seeing you soon next week. But don't forget to check out all the awesome streaming that's going on this weekend, all the events going on.
Yeah.
We have several great events. Joe's covering one of War Games Live. We got
G-Dub.
Paul
G-Dub's.
G-Dub's doing theirs, obviously, with the great Paul Murphy. I'm assuming Not Have Eyes with him as well for that one as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So they're going to have some great events there to watch, guys. Great entertainment this weekend. So enjoy. Let us know how we did afterwards. When we were good at predicting. We're good at predicting. But we like to know. We like to know what you guys thought of it too. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week too, Adam.
Good night.
Night.